Hi. So I'm gonna do a book tour almost of all the books I have on my TBR, what I've DNF'd, what I've read, just because I'm filming on my iPad because my phone doesn't work. So yeah. So I'm going from the smallest pile to the biggest pile. So yeah. I'm going for books I've read. I'm going all the way back to 2021 because otherwise it's going to be very, very short. Because yeah, let's just say last year wasn't a great year for me when it came to reading. So yeah, okay. So what I'm currently reading is Twisted Games by Huang, and I really hope I'm saying her last name right. If I'm not, please tell me. I'm almost done with it. Then I'll be starting the next book, obviously. So that's my current read. This is what I read last year. So I read If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzales Cale Dietrich. I'm not sure how to say it, but If This Gets Out, I love this book so much. Yeah, and also read Some I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I love this book. I still need to read the second book, but when it comes to books, series that are based on books, like TV series and stuff, I can only read the book after I've watched the season that, if say now season one is based primarily off of this book. So therefore I watch that season, then I read this book. So yeah, I have watched season 2, I just haven't had a chance to go buy it. I said that as if I didn't walk past it yesterday, but I didn't have money to buy it yesterday. Not yesterday, this weekend, actually, but yes. These are the 2 books I've read this year. My reading goal for this year is 4 books, and it is November, and I'm not there yet, but anyway. So, the first book I read this year was 7 Husbands of Evelyn and Hugo. 5 stars. Straight up, 5 stars. I love this book so much with everything in me. I don't annotate books because I just don't like it, and I never am able to do it because I read in weird times or places, like in the car and stuff, and you can't exactly annotate in a moving car on a bumpy road. You know what I mean? But I love this book. I will get every book by Jenkins Reid until I die. So yes, highly recommend it. Please read it. Then I read Twisted Love by Huang, and I rated it 4 stars. It got brought down a star when this man started singing, but hey, it's still a good book. Still love it. Highly recommend it. So yeah, I will link my Goodreads profile maybe. Right now it's private at the moment. I'll public it, then I'll link it. So now, books I DNF'd from last year specifically. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. As you can see, I attempted annotating and I realized I didn't like it. And I couldn't even get to page 60 before I was like, no. I just personally don't like Colleen Hoover. I couldn't get into this book. So, it's more like, eh. Also, her name is Lily Bloom and she owns a flower shop. That's it really puts me off when characters do very obvious things according to their name. So, then We Were Liars by Lockhart. I figured out the plot twist before page 60, so I was like, no. What's the point of carrying on reading if I already figured out the plot twist? So, now, books I read in 2021. It's 4 books, that's why I made my reading goal this year for 4 books. And it's a series, and I love this book so much, but there's no anything about it anywhere online, and kills me because these books are so good. And trigger warning for people who don't like the way those first 3 books are gonna look. They were my sister's first. That's not my fault because my sister read these when she was my age. So the first book is Wings by Aprilynne and Pike. You can't really see it because of the type of covers that she has, but I love this book With Everything in Me, it's not the worst in the series. That I'll tell you. I don't think there is a worst in this series because it's all just intertwined so perfectly. I can speak for hours on these books, but I won't do that to you. So, the second book is Spells, also by Aprilynne Pike. Amazing. These are, wait, I forgot to mention this on the last book, but these are the first books I've ever seen that have like an age restriction on them. Yeah, I figured that out in this book because there is minor swearing, but like it happens once in this book and then that's about it. But it's fine. I guess I also do talk about reproduction a lot, but mainly reproduction in plants, so you'll have to read to find out why that is. Then third book is Wilde. I love this book. This one is so good. This is my favorite book. This is my favorite out of all three. And I guess it was also easy to read because, let me open on the first page so people don't read it and then get massive spoilers. Okay, ignore the writing. None of my friends and I used to read it. So I was lending these books to my friends when I was reading in 2021 in grade 7. And I would finish a book and I would give it to my friend and she would, and then while I'm reading the second book, she's reading the first book, you know what I mean? So that's why there's writing on here, but it's in pencil because, yeah. But like the writing is like quite big on here. So I feel like it was very easy to read. It's an easy read, and I love that. Then, now for the only and like nice looking cover most is Destined, also by Aprilynne Pike. And this one has got the highest age rating for 13. Oops. And I think that's, my friend left a piece of paper and I think, and I'm pretty sure that is because the entire book, this whole book, takes place during one day. Because obviously at the end of the last book, something happens and then they do that entire thing during this book. So, yeah. So that's that. Now, my TBR. I want to see what this paper is. Hold on. It's my what to learn page for a subject I did in grade 7. My TBR is huge. This is just my physical TBR, and this is just the physical TBR that I own. So, yeah. First one is for school, but I chose this book specifically for school. So, Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. I have no idea what it's about. So, yeah. And I can't read classics, but I have to read it for my exams. I need to start it. I don't want to. Then I need to get the first book of this because I thought this was the first book, but it wasn't. But it's A Girl Called Shameless by Laura Stephen. The first book is, I think it's the exact opposite of Okay. I do not own that book. I bought this book because I thought it was the first one in the series. It's not. So, yeah. Need to get that, but I really want to read that. Then another classic, which I just wanted. I wanted this. I got it for Christmas. Got a bookmark in it for some reason. But we have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I really want to read this. I'm really desperate to. This is not the cover that I wanted because my mom, because I wanted the same cover as this, but my mom was like, no, if you really want to read it, just get like a cover like this because then it will be easier to read. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah, there's that. Then, let's have a bookmark on this one for some reason. Then we also have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is intimidating to me because of that. I cannot read like really small letters, so quite intimidating, but we'll get there, hopefully. We have The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFarlane. I have a book that I've started. By her, it's The Housemaid. It's I think it's the second book in the series. I started it because you don't really need this book to understand, but I started it and it's really good. I like thrillers, so yeah, I will get to this eventually. My mom first wants to read it first, so I don't know why she wants to read it. She says she likes thrillers, so, but she hates thriller movies and horror movies, but like, okay. Okay. You do you, queen. You do you. Then, last 2 books. Yeah, we have Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. So, and yeah, I'm very excited to read this. I'm gonna get the second book. I really want to read the second book. I keep getting edits of like a random actual hockey player, but they use it as a face claim for this guy. So I'm like, maybe I'll get into it. I used to play hockey, not ice hockey, but I used to play hockey. So, and then last one, obviously, Twisted Hate by Anna Huang, which I'm going to read immediately after this. So, yeah, that is my book tour. Short but sweet, I guess. Yeah. I've got other books on my bookshelves, but some of them I either haven't read or I've read them, but I don't count them as actual reads because I read them when I was like a kid, like The Secret Garden and stuff. Like The Secret Garden is one of my favorite books of all time, but I read it when I was a child, and I want to only go within a 2-year range because otherwise I'm going to forget when I read specific books. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want. Also like, please. I'll find your family. I don't know. I'll become the Duolingo bird. But yeah. Bye.